Hi, and this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, witnessing the world. And I'm in my car, having just done some shopping for myself, got some fruit from what they call Dragon Market. Dragons are very prolific in Eastern culture. Look at Chinese artwork and Japanese dragons, and Thailand is the same. And right the way through history we've got dragons, even in Britain, George and the Dragon and Puff the Magic Dragon, all these dragons. I learnt a few years ago that the real word for dragon is naga. They are serpents, and if you look at certain UFO sightings on YouTube, I mean, some are hoaxes and some are graphic conning people, you know, what they call CGI. But the genuine ones, you can see organic forms manifesting like plasma in the sky, and they form serpent images. They move like snakes, and of course the whole story in the Garden of Eden was the snake, and we call the Kundalini the snake rising up the spine line. Snakes, serpents, dragons, reptilians, which David Icke talks about, and the fact that we have a reptilian brain, the R complex at the top of the spine, which gives us our fight and flight, our animal responses. You can't get away from the fact that we are animalistic, that throughout culture, in the realm of other dimensions, dragons, serpents, snakes are always mentioned. There was a Scottish sect of monks, a monastery, and they wrote as they were hiding from being attacked. This was something like the 14th century, by dragons in the sky. And I've been doing martial arts for many years, and I had the dragon logo within my Jinkok martial arts emblem, which is traditional, the 4- and 5-toed dragon, which represents transformation. So you can't get away from this, and I don't want to get away from this. And as I go around these temples and Dragon Market, which is where I'm witnessing the world from today, I find the cultural belief systems very fascinating, and I personally believe that these myths and legends are ancient truths. That the stuff in the Bible about giants and Nephilim and watchers is genuine phenomena. That our Olympic Games came from the fact that the Olympians in the Caucasian mountains were a race of white giants, gods, and the people tried to do what they could do, and these gods, these Olympians, could run fast, lift weights. They were massive, bright, shiny people. And if you look at their culture and artwork in the Caucasian mountains and everything that came out of that area, the serpent story and serpent knowledge and the reptilians is highly prolific. Around us all the time, I believe, are archons, which is mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls and in the Bible and in a lot of ancient books. The scribes told us about these things, and I believe it's known, but it's occult knowledge, hidden knowledge, not evil. It just is what is, that we have evolved. We crawled out of the primeval sludge, and we eventually went from fish to reptile. We went through all sorts of evolution until we stood up, Homo erectus. And then we became Homo sapiens. But alongside that evolution was other things that evolved, things that we can see, cows and sheep and giraffes and elephants and tigers and insects and things that fly. Whole range of species, but also in the invisible realm, because we can only see a very, very small amount. We're virtually blind. We live in an electromagnetic spectrum, which is just one minute amount of what's there. And out of that electromagnetic spectrum, we can see maybe 5% of it. So there's 95% we don't see. In the limited amount that we're able to see, we only see things that reflect light. We only see things that we call physical. And those physical things are just, the sun shines down, it hits these objects, and these objects reflect light, and we pick it up on our retina and interpret it in our brain. There's things that we don't interpret in our brain because we have no understanding of them, of these things. Shamans do. And when you go into altered states, or you take drugs or natural hallucinogenic mushrooms or ayahuasca, whatever, it opens your mind to see these things that are there all the time. And when people take these drugs, they talk about serpents and reptiles and snakes and dragons and beautiful things and scary things. Nothing scary really, it's just that we've been told that certain things are scary, and so we react in that way. But I believe, well, I know that in your dream life and in your lucid waking state, if you can drop into alpha and theta brain waves, and I believe this is the way that humanity is evolving as our third eye opens more and more, as we get cosmic and planetary shifts and consciousness is evolving and people are becoming more open-minded to this sort of stuff. And the clues are in the films, that the filmmakers know all this. You look at the films that are all about dimensions and ETs and shape-shifting and time-shifting and states of mind that allow you to access powers that we don't believe we have, but we have. We can create miracles. And we're evolving towards this, but you can do it now. You don't have to wait for evolution of generations and generations and centuries. These abilities lie dormant in us now. We can access time and space. We can shift ourselves and shift what we perceive as just a physical world, because in that thin air, that space between objects that reflect light, there's so much stuff. You see it in dreams, but you can actually see it in waking state. As you walk round today, the Dragon Market, or wherever you are in Asda, or in the pub, or doing your shopping, going to Debenhams, or in the office, driving on the on the motorway or the expressway or the bypass, playing with your kids, your family, your partners, your pets. Your pets see it. Your pets react to it. They've got no concept of thin air. They see things in thin air. How many times can you see a dog who barks and there's nothing there? There is something there. We can't see it. We're blind. The dog's not. The dog sees different things to us. Fish do. Birds do. Birds navigate by magnetism on the planet, and this magnetism is a resource that we don't use, but we can use. We can become sensitive, empathic to energy, magnetism, light, sound, which is what I'm all about. Developing myself, developing other people, opening up awareness, removing self-limiting beliefs of what we're capable of, because we're capable of far more than we understand, and the stories are there and they're not myths. The miracles are not myths. Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Allah, Abraham, Francis of Assisi, Mother Teresa, all these people that have been worshipped, who have great charisma, who can do wonderful things, you can do. I can do. I know I can do them. I've demonstrated I can do some of them, and I'm continually evolving to do more for good. Not for tricks, not for magic, not for celebrity, not for fame, not for money, but for love, to share, to heal, to evolve, to grow, to be powerful, which is what you are. To breathe fire and energy, to be a dragon, to transform, to shapeshift. Big stuff this I'm talking about, and it's within your capability and my capability, and you can do it physically so it can be seen, or mentally in a dream. That rhymes. Either way, you can do good in your dreams. You can go to bed in your bedroom or wherever and send your spirit, your energy, your essence, your intention to places all over the world and beyond the world. And trust me, you can be felt. You can create an effect. You can do distant healing. You can do positive things beyond the limitations of your physical body, beyond the limitations of your age, your health, your sex, your financial situation. You can do miracles. And if you're interested in learning about this, talking about it freely, you know where I am. Because I love this stuff. I'm fascinated by it. And I really want to hear your stories. What have you seen? What have you experienced? What have you felt? Embrace it, welcome it, ask for more of it. Don't be scared of it. There's nothing bad in the world. We live in a wonderful world of duality, which is another conversation. And watching this now, you can have, be and do so much more in the world and beyond the world, in the physical and in the metaphysical. I'll leave it there. Have a wonderful, powerful day. Keep in touch. Share your experiences in the comments. Let's talk about this. Let's grow together. God bless.